you ever feel like you're saving the best parts of yourself for later? We promise ourselves we'll read that book, learn that skill, or truly work on our character someday. But someday gets pushed aside by the relentless demands of today. What if we have it all backward? The Stoics teach us to claim the best of our time for what truly matters and to find a profound peace not by fighting reality, but by embracing it. Today, we explore how to give ourselves the lion's share and learn to love our fate. Who gets the lion's share? And besides, how can you not be ashamed to allot for yourself only the wretched remnants of your own years? To leave for a good and rational life only that time which is no longer fit for anything else? Seneca on the shortness of life. In one of his letters, Seneca tells a story about Alexander the Great. As he was conquering the world, some countries offered him a part of their territory without a fight, hoping that in return he would leave them in peace. According to Seneca, Alexander replied that he had not journeyed to Asia to take what was given to him, but for others to take as much as he would leave them. Seneca writes that we should have the same attitude towards philosophy in our lives. Philosophy should not settle for the time or energy that is left over from other pursuits. On the contrary, we should graciously allocate time for everything else when our learning is finished. If we are striving for true self-improvement, why do we leave only a few minutes for reading before turning off the light and going to bed? Why do we set aside 8 to 10 hours in the middle of the day to attend meetings, but not set aside time to reflect on serious questions? The average person manages to spend 28 hours a week watching television, but ask them if they have time for philosophy, and they will probably tell you they are too busy for that. We are born good. Man is born predisposed to virtue. Musonius Rufus lectures. But why should philosophy get the lion's share? Why is this pursuit so important? The Stoics argue it's because this practice isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who we were always meant to be. The concept of original sin has weighed on humanity for centuries. In reality, we are made to help each other and to be good to one another. Otherwise, we would not have survived as a species. In Stoic philosophy, there is hardly an idea that would not be understandable even to a child or that would not align with common sense. The ideas of Stoicism form the basis of who we are and what we consider to be true. They conflict only with the various inventions of society, which usually serve selfish interests more than the common good. We are all born good. Musonius Rufus said, "We are all by our nature such that we can live without sin and morally beautiful, and not such that one can and another cannot. You are born with an inclination towards virtue and self-control. If you are far from this, it is not because of some innate corruption, but from absorbing the wrong things and the wrong ideas." As Seneca pointed out, philosophy is the means to get rid of all that and return to our true nature. Accept everything that happens. Do not demand that events happen as you wish, but accept what happens as it is, and you will be happy. Epictetus, Enchiridion. Returning to our true, virtuous nature is our primary task. But life is unpredictable. Things happen that we don't want, that knock us off course. How do we deal with a reality that doesn't conform to our wishes? Here, the Stoics offer their most powerful and radical tool. For everything that happens in the universe, it is easy to praise providence if one has these two qualities: the ability to understand everything that has happened to each and a sense of gratitude. Otherwise, one will not see the utility of all that has happened, and the other will not be grateful for it all, even if they see it. Epictetus discourses. Something happened that we didn't want. What is easier to change? our opinion, or the event that has already occurred? The answer is obvious. Accept what happened and change your desire. Stoicism calls this the art of consent, not to fight every little thing, but to be able to accept it. And the most skilled Stoics take the next step. They don't just accept what happens, they urge us to rejoice in what has happened, whatever it may be. Many centuries later, Nietzsche found the perfect expression for this idea, Amor Fati, which can be translated as love of fate. It means not just accepting, but loving everything that happens around us. To wish for what has already happened after the fact is a wise way to avoid disappointment, since nothing contradicts your desires, but to genuinely feel gratitude for what is happening. To love it, that is the recipe for happiness and joy. Align desires with what will be. And I have never been hindered when I wanted something, nor have I been compelled when I did not want something. And how is this possible? I have entrusted my impulse to God. He wants me to have a fever, and I want it. He wants me to be drawn to something, and I want it. He wants me to strive for something, and I want it. He wants me to achieve something, and I desire it. He does not want it. I do not desire it. Epictetus discourses, to not just accept, but to love whatever happens. This is the art of Amor Fati. It sounds difficult, but Epictetus shows us how it's done. A stunning example of this can be found in one of history's most pivotal moments. In 1944, on the eve of the Allied landing in Normandy, General Dwight Eisenhower wrote to his wife, "Everything we could think of, we have done. The troops are ready. Everyone is doing their best. The answer is on the knees of the gods." He had done everything he could, and now whatever will be, will be. In accordance with the words of Epictetus, he was ready for anything. In fact, Eisenhower wrote another letter at that time in case of defeat. If God or fate or fortune or whatever you want to call it wished for his failure, he was ready. This is a remarkable lesson. The man who commanded perhaps the most powerful army that has ever existed, on the eve of the most organized and planned invasion the world had then known, was humble enough to understand that the outcome was determined by someone or something substantially greater than himself. This is true for all our endeavors. No matter how good the preparation, no matter how trained and smart we are, the final result is on the knees of the gods. And the sooner we understand this, the better. Conclusion: give the best of yourself to what truly matters. Trust that you are born for virtue, and for everything else, love what happens as if you willed it yourself. This is the Stoic path to freedom and tranquility. It's a life where you are never disappointed, because your will is aligned with reality itself. If you're ready to stop giving away the scraps of your time and start living with purpose and acceptance, subscribe to the channel. Let's learn to love our fate together.